Last week we did a hip assessment of internal versus external rotation, which hip was limited in each way. So this week we're going to talk about that internal rotation and do stretches and exercises to both lengthen and strengthen the muscle. So this is how we did the assessment. We just dropped both knees over to one side. So right now my right leg is in internal rotation and my left leg is in external rotation. I'll then just go the other way. Just doing this, you can think about windshield wipers, is a nice way to bring some fluidity and movement to the hip joints, to kind of lubricate everything before we go. And then just the right leg, internal rotation. And so the left leg is holding steady. If I let both legs go out, there's some rotation in my pelvis. But this way, I can just let gravity do the work. You don't want to get caught up. You might feel some tightness in that inner line of the hip joint. So think that your knee is going to go forward. You're going to press it inside of your foot to the floor. So it's very important to keep your foot stable and flexed here to protect the knee. Lift up out of it and think that your right butt is sticking back behind you. And then come up and bring your left leg into internal rotation. Send the knee across the room and pull your buttock bone back. And you'll feel the work deep within the inner line of that hip. Now, a great way to let the inner thighs open, bring your legs into Baddha Konasana. Because it's not just one muscle that does internal rotation, it's several. So you can think about all the adductors, all the three adductor muscles, the pectineus muscle, which is this little muscle way up on the upper inner thigh in the front of the pelvis, and then the outer hip muscles of the TFL and the gluteus medius and minimus. And all of them work together. And if you don't have that coordination or that strength, well, if you're limited in your internal rotation, it can lead to pain in your lower back, pain in your knee, collapse of the arch of the foot, when you're asking these other structures of the body to do what your hips should be able to do. So I'm just letting gravity do the work. Again, send your knees across the room, heels are meeting, and then stick your butt out. And just doing that, coming out of this rounding forward, if your inner thighs are tight, you're lengthening the whole line of the inner leg. And then bring your legs together. That's working those muscles to strengthen them, right? Knees out, lengthen the inner thighs, stick your butt out, and then bring your legs together. Now, another good one to work and build the capacity for internal rotation is just to scooch back, flex your feet. You're gonna bring your legs to the left. So we're gonna work on the internal rotation in the right hip. So my knee and my heel are in the same line. I'm gonna initiate up. I'm gonna feel like I'm deepening the groin, sticking the butt out. What happens is the knee goes further down and the foot comes up. So this is internal rotation in the hip joint. You see it lifting the foot. This is one of those things that if you're not doing it at home with me, you're like, yeah, whatevs. But hovering this leg an inch off the floor is like, oh, wow, that's what's going on. Make sure you go both ways. Left leg in, flex the foot, protect the knee, stick your butt out on the left, and then activate internal rotation. Oh my God, it's so much harder on this side for me. Again, you don't want to feel like you're getting jammed up in that hip joint. Think that you send the knee out to pull the thigh out of the hip socket. Oh, I just got a little bit more height. Not that much though. This is the side that I should do more on. And then come back, Baddha Konasana. Rock from side to side. So those are a few that are just like really nice. And then we'll do one more weight bearing, coming into a wide squat. Send your feet apart. So you can think Prasarita Padottanasana, which is a really nice way to open the back of the legs, but also the inner line of the leg. And then coming into a wide squat. So I'll turn a little bit to the side. Stick your butt out. Be planted on the four corners of the feet. So the more I come down, the more I'm working all the way up on the inner line of my legs. I can bring my elbows to my knees. I can bring my hands down and use my elbows as a Got it, because tightness in that leg is gonna make your knees wanna cave in. So don't let that happen. Stick your chest out. Again, knees coming in will put you in your back. And then I press my left foot down, my hips lift and come over to the right. And now I'm getting a beautiful opening on the inner line of that left leg. And then I come down again to the middle. I activate my right foot, press my right foot down, my hips rise and come over to the left. And I'm lengthening, lengthening, lengthening the whole inner seam of my right leg. So come back to the middle, elbows in the knees. I'm on the balls of my feet and I come up and over. Don't sink the arch of the foot. Don't sickle that foot. Stay, stick your butt out. You're lengthening. Come back to the middle and then that way. So my chest lifts as my butt drops and I'm working the whole line of that inside of that leg. Try that. Just a few ways. You can work them into your yoga practice. You can do them before your yoga practice or all on their own therapeutically to help activate and increase that internal rotation. Happy yoga therapy.